Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. We are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Thursday morning. It is Thankful Thursday here on the Fearless Morning Show. Hope you guys are doing well. How was your day yesterday? What happened on yesterday, y'all? Let me add my fearless co-host in. Did you take the right first step yesterday? Let me know what y'all did. How's your week going? Hey, Lynn.
Hello, good morning, good morning.
How you doing?
Girl, I woke up to some hackeration going on over here this morning, trying to get things worked out, but we're going to get it done, guys. They're hacking into my wireless router in my house. Not only are they hacking into my wireless router, guys, you got to check that stuff and make sure you change those passwords religiously. Not only are they hacking, I check my bank account religiously. I check my credit report religiously. Don't you know somebody is going in there and taking out, they're not taking, $15. You know how people try to test the waters?
Yeah, somebody did that to me.
Let's take $15. No, they taking out $500, $800 at the time, and I'm like, what? That's been my morning this morning, but I'm okay with it because I'm like, let me call the credit union just as soon as
8 o'clock.
I started to call you and say, JoJo, I am not gonna be on today because I got some business to handle, but lucky for them, they're not open yet. So I got to wait until they open up the customer service line so I can call them. And we're going to get to the bottom of this thing. So,
I know that's right. Good morning, Charlene. Girl, that's a way to wake up. Somebody did mine like that. They tested mine with only $1. I said, honey, I can't even play with $1. You better stop it.
Right. So I have to I'm just going to call and get it taken care of. But I'm thankful this morning in spite of everything that's going on.
That's right.
Hackeration is real, guys. Make sure that you check all of your stuff. Make sure you change the passwords on all of your accounts. I know that it's a hassle. I know we have millions of passwords that we have to remember for everything. Do not use the same. And I didn't mean to be on that soapbox this morning, but I'm telling you what happened to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm telling you what happened to me, so you need to protect yourself. And that's why it is so vital. I'm the financial rebound coach, guys, but it's so vital that we do our due diligence. We stay on top of your identity, your bank accounts, your everything, because it is just unreal what people are out here doing these days. It is unreal, but that's okay. We're going to get it handled. We will get it handled today. I'm just thankful. It's Thankful Thursday, right? So I'm thankful that those are the only things I have to deal with this morning. I could have had someone dead in my family, or I could have not woken, I probably would not have been awake here myself. So I am thankful, right? I am thankful that it's not any worse than it is. And yes, those are distractions, Michelle. Those are absolute distractions that are coming at us, but I shall not be moved. I'm just like Trenda's baby. He said he was a tree. Remember his dream? He was a tree planted.
That's right.
I shall not. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Charlene.
Good morning, Michelle.
It shall be resolved when I call them this morning. Trust and believe. they are.
What, Lynn? There's no other option.
Right. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100.
Girl.
It's fixed.
Yeah, no, that's right.
In there this morning and get all of that stuff taken care of. But now that it's taken care of, it shall be taken care of. I'm counting it done. Right before I even get on the phone with them. But guys, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Sorry I had to go off on a tangent as soon as I got on the phone, but I just woke up to some craziness this morning. in my life, and it's minor in comparison maybe to what someone else is going through. So I am truly thankful. Let's just say that. The quote for this morning, and I hate when I choose these quotes that I can't pronounce the author's name, give him the proper credit. So y'all gonna have to bear with me. His name is, it looks like Lao, Lao, Tzu, Tzu. All right. That's what his name looks like. So the quote for today, and this is so timely. All difficult things have their origin in that which is easy, and great things in that which is small, right? All difficult things have their origin in that which is easy, and great things in that which is small. So what are some of those things, guys, that appear so difficult, that appear, you know, insurmountable, that mountain that feels like you cannot climb it? All you have to do, and JoJo talks about this yesterday, guys, is take that baby step to get started, right? Mm-hmm. It seems like to me, when I look at my bank account and it's $2,000 missing out of my account, that seems like, and that may not be a lot to a lot of people, but that's a lot to me when you just go into my checking account and just take $2,000 out as if
you deserve.
I don't know what they were thinking, right? I have no clue what they were thinking, but it's not, you know, it's not so difficult that I can't get over it, right? That's right. So the thing today, all difficult things have their origin in that which is easy, and great things in that which is small. So that's the quote for today. I don't know what that extra noise was. That's
my mother texting me. My sister texting me. Sorry.
Okay. I didn't know what that was. But good morning, guys. Again, I'm Lynn Demis, the Financial Rebound Coach, and we're going to go ahead and go into our conversation, our financial confession and conversation this morning about the major markets that we should be aware of. And when we talk about major markets, we're talking about investing, right, Charlene? You don't care if it's $2,000, it's your money and you want your money. Exactly. So in looking at the major markets of investing, we're going to talk about the different types of markets that are out there that you have an opportunity to do what? Make your money, keep your money, grow your money, right? And that's right. The ultimate goal. It's very important that we always remember this, guys. It's not how much money you make, but it's how much you keep, how you use that to now help it to grow. That's what's most important. So that's why we're talking about the major markets that we should be concerned with. And we are all familiar with what's called the stock indices, right? The stock indices, those are like the Dow Jones Industrial. And you hear about that on the news, the Dow Jones Industrial. That started in 1884. So people have been investing in the stock market for
a long time.
For a very long time. And I'm not understanding, guys, why is it taking us so long to figure out all of these different investment opportunities, right? How are they able to now make money in these opportunities that we're not privy to? We know that it's there, but we haven't taken the time to now educate ourselves on these. So it's not only the Dow Jones. You hear about the S&P 500 all the time, right? The NASDAQ, which is the technology stocks. So those are your stock indices when we talk about the major markets that we need to be aware of. So that's where your stocks are. But we also have the other side of the coin where bonds are, right? Bonds typically are the way that many minorities will go ahead and invest. Why do we invest in bonds? Because there's a difference in a stock and a bond, right? When you invest in a bond, there's a guaranteed amount that you're giving to this company, and they're guaranteeing you that they're going to pay you interest on the money that you've now given to them, right? So it's a safer investment. It's a less risky investment. But a stock, on the other hand, can have some consequences and repercussions. So I think that's probably the reason that many of us have not invested in that fact. Because there's a greater level of risk involved in stocks, right? There's risk that's involved there because a company, We talked about what a stock was yesterday. A company can grow, right? It can increase in value. A company can also decline or decrease in the value, right? So the value of the stock goes up and down. So I think that is also one of the things that can be a deterrent or a barrier, if you will, for us when we think about investing. But if you don't take those opportunities to learn and then take advantage of the risk, then you're taking the opportunity out of the side where we talk about growing your money. So you have to be able to understand the risk that's involved inside of these different market indices. So there are fixed interest instruments. Those are your bonds, and that's like your U.S. Treasuries. When you go with the U.S. Treasuries, you can have like a 10-year bond or a 30-year bond that they'll pay you out after 10 years, whatever the specified interest rate was for that particular bond. So we are all familiar with those, right? The other major market are the currencies. And the currencies, the major currencies that are out there are like the euro versus the US dollar, the British pound, right, versus the US dollar. You'll see these when they're talking about the foreign exchange currencies. So that's another major market that we have an opportunity to make our money, keep our money, and grow our money. The commodities is another major market out there. That's like your gold, your crude oil, corn, other things of that nature fall underneath commodities. And then, of course, there are what they call the blue chip shares, right? And this is like stocks. And I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but this just gives you a quick overview of what the major indices or the major markets are. So there are a lot of different investment opportunities within each of those markets. But what I want to share with you today and what I want you to write down this morning are what are the 5 things, what are the 5 things that I wish I had known before I started investing? Okay? It's the 5 investing tips I wish I knew before I started. Okay? Great. You want to follow live and send your link? Okay, sure, absolutely. Ellen, we will do that.
I'll post the Women Who Invest link for you.
Okay, great, great. So the number one thing that I want to say, the first tip is to invest slowly, guys. And what do I mean by that? I mean, take the time to do what we oftentimes call the boring stuff. What's the boring stuff? Educating yourself so that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. By educating yourself, this helps you to minimize the risk that's now involved in that process of investing so that you have an opportunity to make your money, keep your money, and grow your money. Okay, so there's different things you need to know about. There's price action you got to know about because that's how we buy low, sell high. Real estate. Make sure that when you're going through, when you're actually studying, that you're doing your due diligence and you're taking the notes so that you can do what you need to do as far as the investment. See, my goal, guys, is to teach you the investment education that you need so that you can make the right decisions for you. You don't have to get on the bandwagon and do what everyone else is doing. You'll have the information that you need to now make the choices and the decisions as to, yes, I'm going to hold, or no, I need to sell, or whatever the thing is that you need to do in regards to your investment. The number 2 thing that you must realize is recognize that there is a process to all of this, and it's going to take some time. So that's why I said in the beginning, start out slowly. Don't jump in just because you say, all right, I have this $1,000, I'm ready to go invest. Right? It's burning a hole in my pocket, so I better go and invest it somewhere. Take the time, guys. There's a process to everything. Learn the ins and outs. Learn the terminology. But I don't want you to do like we did in college or do like I did in college, right? I knew I had a biology exam in college. What did I do? I got that biology textbook. I had my flashcards. And I went in relentless. I devoured that content, right? In investing, you cannot do that. In the investing world, you do not devour the content and then think you can now go out there and do it. See, when I took those biology tests, I would go in there, devour the content, memorize, get in there, go take my test, regurgitate, and then I would come out with a great score, right? But it doesn't work like that in the investing world. Why? Because, guys, there are so many different indicators that affect what's happening inside of the investing world that you have to understand, practice, know the trends, recognize those, and then act accordingly. So that's why I also have shared with you all to go to that Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade, get the paper money account so you can start practicing investing, right? So you can start recognizing some of those trends and help to mitigate or minimize your losses. See, that's what's most important for us as we move forward and jump into this investing world. The number 3 thing that I wish I had known, the number 3 investing tip I wish I had from the very beginning is to create your own method. Create your method, right? You have to want to learn about everything there is, but it's not possible to know everything. So what you have to do is come up with a strategy for you and what you plan to invest in. See, the mistake that I made when I initially started investing, guys, was I wanted to find all of the stock tips. I was just going around and trying to see what were the, I mean, it's nothing wrong with knowing what the experts are saying, but I was a jump on the bandwagon with what everyone else was doing kind of girl when I initially started investing. And that is the absolutely wrong way to go into investing. The number 1 thing that you have to do is you must have a strategy around your investing, or else you will quickly lose your money, okay? You will quickly lose your money. So don't just jump in all willy-nilly and don't just follow anyone's advice. Get in there and devise a strategy that is going to work for you, that's going to be comfortable for you, that's going to allow you to be able to sleep at night. See, that's what's most important. The number 4 thing that I'll say is you got to learn from your mistakes. In investing, you are going to make mistakes, especially in the beginning. Chop those up to learning experiences. Don't get mad at yourself because you didn't do that thing right. Learn from it. Don't gloss over those mistakes and just leave it, because there is so much more that can be learned from your mistakes than it is from doing things right. If you do it right the first time, a lot of times you'll be like, I don't even know why that worked, but it worked, right? But if you do it wrong a couple of times, you can go back and actually figure that thing out and be like, oh, okay, so this is where it went wrong. So make sure that you're looking into those things, focus, and learn from your mistakes. Don't just chop them up to mistakes. And the number 5 thing that I'll say to you is, guys, be realistic. Because you cannot go on here and say, okay, I want to be a millionaire and expect this to happen in a short period of time in investing. So there are opportunities where people have, but if you're the average person and you're going in, you're learning this investing game, there are opportunities for you to become a millionaire within a short period of time, but you have to learn all the rules to be able to do that appropriately. And that's where, going back to number 4, those mistakes that you learn from are going to be invaluable for you. So make sure that you are doing your due diligence throughout and give yourself time. The number 1 rule is, well, the greatest thing, right? Even Einstein says this, the greatest thing out there is compound interest. And compound interest is what is going to allow you to do what? Make your money, keep your money, and grow your money. That's the grow your money side of things. With that compounding interest, you are typically able to double your money within 7 years. So you need to decide on where you're starting within each of these investment vehicles. And it doesn't matter what you decide to invest in, guys. Let's be clear. The only thing that matters is that you have a strategy behind those investments, right? And what I mean by strategy in your investing is knowing why you're doing it, knowing how you're going to do it, and getting the steps that you need to take to make it to that end goal. Okay, so essentially those are the things. So those major markets that you needed to be aware of, I shared those initially with you. Those major market, the stock indices, the fixed interest instruments, the currencies, the commodities, and then the blue chip shares. So those are all different. I tried to simplify it as much as possible to get it across today. So I'm hopeful that those 5 tips will help you as you go along your way, as you build your investing portfolio. And I definitely want to invite you all to join those who are interested in becoming an investor to go to bit.ly/WWInvest to join up with a group of like-minded women who are just interested in this opportunity and who are willing to do the work to get to their next level, because we're making our money, keeping our money, and growing our money.
And then that think or swim, for anybody that, you know, feels like it's just way too much. And a lot of people say, oh, it's just too many rules, it's too much information to know. That think or swim allows you to play. Lynn said this a lot of times. It's not real money. It allows you to play with fake money so that you can get confident and learn how to do it. And after a while, you notice, if I do this, then this is going to happen. If I don't do that, then that, you know, so you learn things. So that Think or Swim is a good app, or the Stash or Acorn app, which is the 2 that I use, are great apps to use as well.
Yeah, guys. So when you go in and create those accounts, it's very important that you do. I mean, it's all on you. We'll do the informing here. We're doing some education here, but 60% of the work is in homework. It's in you work, right? And I know we hated homework when we were in school. I hated homework when I was in school. Did you like homework when you were in school? Except with the exception of a few nerds, right? A lot of people don't like homework. And that's what our finances are to us. That's our real homework. See, that's the homework you should be invested in, because it's it's your money. That's the homework, right? That you should really be ready to do, willing to do, and give your all to if you're expected to see the type of growth that you want to have. So join us, guys. If you feel that the Think or Swim by TD Ameritrade paper money, that is too confusing, that's why I'm inviting you to join us, so you'll be able to come and ask questions. If you're going in there, you're working, you're playing around, and you're seeing, okay, I'm not seeing this happening. I've lost all of my paper money, so I know I can't get in with my real money. What in the world am I doing wrong, Lynn, right? Or I just can't figure out what to invest in. I don't even know how to pick. I don't even know what to look for on those charts. I have no clue. What is a ticker symbol, right? So if you need some assistance and support with all of that, that's what we do over at Women Who Invest. It's an education community so that you can invest and be confident in those investment decisions that you are making for you and your family.
That's right. And you have to be diligent. Let me tell you my confession, for my financial confession. and I said I started this journey late last year, mid-year. Trina has a question. My challenge with the one that rounds up about this that I'm working with, Kat. Okay.
So your challenge with the roundup, it's okay if you don't round up purchases because you're paying cash only. There's also an app, and I'm assuming that you're talking about the Acorn app, because it does the roundup if you use your credit card or your debit card. They have an option where you can do an automatic amount of money invested. So you can do $20 a week, $10 a week, $5 a week, $1,000 a week, right? There's so many different options and you can choose. So even if you don't want to use the round up option, then you do have the opportunity to just invest a set amount, and they'll draft that from your bank account, put it into the investment vehicle that you've chosen, the stock, the ETF, the whatever it is that you've chosen to invest in. So that's another option.
Yeah, because I know when I first started with them, mine was $5 a pay period, and so you can select the date that you want it to come out. So, and they ask you a lot of questions of what are you interested in, that kind of thing, so that you can pick what you want to invest in.
Sure, sure.
So, but yesterday, I started on this journey late last year, and I sat down yesterday to do my taxes. First of all, Lynn, I don't do my taxes, but I get my paperwork and all my business receipts together
Together.
to send to my accountant. Oh, Lord, help me, Father God. This, ladies, is where organization comes in handy because I paid to have QuickBooks. I pay every month to have QuickBooks. And
Okay.
so I can, but do I use it? And last night, did it not dawn on me? Okay, like for real, JoJo, there's no other option. You got to use it because I almost lost my mind in here with these finances. And then number two, Lynn, and I say this all the time, don't let the dollar menu keep you broke. The dollar menu kept me broke I calculated last year between the dollar menu at McDonald's, Burger King, and the Dollar Tree, $3,000. 3,000, Lynn. 3,000. I was like, JoJo, what is wrong, honey? And then when you know how your bank will, and if you're with Wells Fargo, whatever bank, they will break your spending down into a cute
Yes.
little pie.
Right.
My pie was all the way ugly. You hear me? It was all the way. And because I started late last year, my trend was already set. I had already, I saw a little bit of growth. Yeah, Charlene, honey. And it got uglier by the minute. And got my calculator and I'm like, that's not right, honey. Between that and, I have the hair business and buying products for that, it was in it was insane. It was overwhelming. And so when I finished 4 hours later, my head hurt and I was just, so what I did was I wrote it on a sticky note somewhere, the amount of what I spent. So now that's on a sticky note. It's earned a spot on my computer for me to be mindful of my spending. So yeah, because that dollar menu will keep you broke, especially when you traveling and
Yes.
you're running late and you have kids that are so active, like between Girl Scouts and Deltas and blah blah, all of this. I'm hungry before and after. Dollar menu, dollar. Lynn broke me down. You hear me?
Well, JoJo, we could definitely talk about this offline, but the lesson learned number one is thou shalt use thy QuickBooks to help you
What?
organize because it makes it so easy for you to
Mhm.
track those expenses. And I know that's probably not what we meant to get on this morning, but it makes your life so easy. Guys, whatever
And then
trackable
here
tool
it
you can
is.
use for your finances. Yes.
I set up QuickBooks. I pay for QuickBooks and don't use QuickBooks. I was like, and I took a whole day and set it up, Lynn. I got two accounts for two businesses. I was like,
Wow.
oh yeah.
Wow.
So that's my financial confession for the day, guys. I knew I started my journey late, and I'm glad that I'm on it, and it has gotten 1,000% better from where I started. But when that reality hit me again, so that was a just in case you forgot, JoJo, kind of moment. Just in case you forgot, let me show you what you was working with back in the day. Now so I had to compare, and this year is almost non-existent compared to last year, and we're only 2 months in. So that's a great thing. So
Right.
because now we travel with snacks, we travel prepared, so that we don't have to do that.
Yes,
Charlene,
yes.
that dollar menu will get you straight jacked up, honey.
Okay, so I'm going to go back really quickly to Trenda's comment. She said, I'm torn between totally getting out of debt and investing. Dave Ramsey is in your head. So I get that. So Trenda, let's talk for a second. And I completely bought into Dave Ramsey's philosophy in the beginning. Okay. But what you also have to understand is you have to set up the plan that is going to work for you. And what I didn't buy into 100% of everything that Dave Ramsey sells, right? If you will. Because I like Dave Ramsey, I like Robert Kiyosaki, and I like Susie Orman, and there's a couple of others. So I have picked and chosen from each of those what I like and what fits my life, right? So I absolutely agree that with the emergency fund piece, you need an emergency fund first and foremost. And that's what worked for me. See, you have to decide what works for you. Is an emergency fund something that's going to allow you to sleep at night? If it is, then do that thing. If that's not your life and that's not how you like to live, then okay, find out what works for you. The second thing that I don't want us to miss out on is the opportunity to compound interest. So going ahead and starting some investing is very important, but it depends upon how much debt you are in, right? Some people are so overwhelmed by their debt situation that they can't find any money right now to try to invest, to try to put into something else, right? And I get that. See, there are some baby steps that we have to get through before we can get to, right, that goal of investing. So everything, you must have a goal and you must have a strategy. See, that's our problem. We don't have a strategy for our finances. We're not ready to do the homework. We want to come to class. We want to sit and listen, but we don't want to go home and do the real work.
Yes.
Right? So that's where you have to decide what is the strategy that's going to be best for me. And that's typically what I do as a coach, is talk people through the strategy that works for them, because everyone can't do the exact same thing that I did. Everyone can't do the exact same thing that JoJo did, right? You got the emergency fund piece. That interest is hard to pass up. And I get it, right? Make sure you keep that emergency fund. With me, I absolutely agree. You must have an emergency fund because you never know. And you know what? In the words of who sang that song? These jobs ain't loyal, but they don't say jobs. Right? But anyway, that's a very important piece, right? That you need to have. Definitely have that emergency fund. Now, the debt situation, it depends upon the types of debt that you have, because we've been told, and Dave Ramsey buys into the philosophy that all debt is bad debt, right? And on my side of the table, all debt is not bad debt. And you even hear some of the celebrities say, where's the power? The power's in your credit.
Yes.
How good or bad is your credit? And then looking at how good your credit is, then there are other opportunities that now open up to us. But that's a completely different philosophy, and not everybody's bought into that. That's why I say you need a strategy. You need a plan. Everybody needs a plan. The question I ask you today on this Thankful Thursday is, do you have a strategy? Do you have a plan? If you don't, then why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? How long is it going to take you? How long do you have to stay in this place? When you can make the decision, you devise a strategy, you devise that plan, and you can get out of that situation. But it's up to you. And we say it over and over. No one's going to do that for you. So ask yourself today, what is my strategy for my finances? What is my strategy to get out of this debt if you are in debt? What is my strategy to start investing for my future if you want to do that? What is my strategy for X? You fill in the blank. Because you have to have a plan to do this thing, guys. Just like homework. This homework, you can't just go and copy someone else's paper. And I used to hate that when we were in school. I hated it with a passion. There was this group of kids. They were a little bit older than me. They were the popular group. And one of the girls, she used to hurry and snatch my paper off my desk and hurry up and copy it and pass it around to all
Yes,
my
yes.
before my paper got back to me. I hated that with a passion. But with your finances, you can't copy anybody else's paper.
That's right.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
JoJo. I went off on a little tangent right there, but you got to do the homework.
You got to, because you're not going to pass the test, and the test is your finance. It's going to play out in your finances every day.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you got to sit down. Like last night, my kids kept coming in. I said, I can't talk. Everybody get out. I shut the door. I locked the other door. And it was just me. And, you have to sit down and do the work and make it make sense to you. Lynn helps break it down for you, but you need to write it and understand it so that it makes sense to you. She said she loved it. That's what it's all about, honey. Learning the information and applying the information. Education without application doesn't work.
Nope.
That's all. None whatsoever. So, all right, guys. So the fearless, Lynn, you done with the fearless thought for the day?
I'm done with my tangents for this morning.
Anybody have any other questions for Lynn? If you have any other questions for Lynn while we're here, please ask them, because now is the time when you can send her a message. And I posted all your links, Lynn, Women Invest and the Bitly for that, as well as Demons Enterprise. So if you want to reach out to Lynn, all of her information is posted in the comments, so make sure you check out. All right, so guys, I forgot what I was getting ready to tell you. Yesterday we talked about making the right first step. So today, for your fearless thought today, and I like to make them kind of connect together. So today is, are you expecting? You have to have confident expectations. So when you start on this journey, you can't be thinking, I'm doing all this stuff they tell me to do, but I don't think it's going to work. You've got to have confident expectations of that what you're doing is going to work. If you don't have confident expectations, you are working in vain. You know how at work, when people introduce it, if you, like my frontline employees, I used to come out and say, hey, you're going to do this time. And they said, Miss Joe, that's not going to work. It's just, they already done knocked it down before they tried it. So even if we do implement it, you've already made it so that it will fail because you do not have confident expectations that it's going to work out. Same thing applies in your finances, work, and in your life. If you're ready to live past crazy, you have to have the confident expectations that crazy is going to stop. And crazy has got to stop with you, because it's not going to stop at the end. That's what I had to realize. Crazy was not going to stop with anybody else but me. I had to stop it first. And then when I stopped it, then I had to change my expectations that it was going to continue, because a lot of times you get excited and you see a little change and you think, oh, okay, well, now I can stop doing what I just started because I see a little bit of change. And you can't, you have to be consistent with that. And when you get confidence, you have that confidence in your expectations, you will continue on to do what you need to do. You're right, Charlene, you got to have the confidence. You have to. And in the beginning, let me tell you where that confidence is going to be. Nowhere. It's going to be, I ain't even going to lie. When I first started on this fearless journey, my confidence was zero. But this is what I did know. And we talked was this a quote yesterday, a day before? You have to believe, you have to know that it's going to happen. You have to be convinced in your mind that it's going to happen. I think that we had a quote around that or something one day this week. So you've got to believe. You all about your girl. Let me tell you, all I knew is it had to stop. It was going to stop with me. And I had to have an expectation that it was going to continue to stop. It was not going to continue. And here's the thing. If you really want to grow, if you really want to change, you've got to do the opposite of what you're doing now. There's no other option to that. If you really want to grow, if you really want to change, you've got to do the opposite of what you're doing now. Because now what you're doing now doesn't work. It's not working. It ain't never worked. That's why you're crazy now. Not you, but your life crazy. You know, your money funny, your people funny, your relationship funny, your job kind of shaky, and you just like, what else can go wrong? You got to, that's because you're expecting everything to go wrong. Have you ever, just like my workers, ever went to a job and before you pull up, you were like, nah, I know it's about to be crazy up in here today. You done set the expectations for what's going to happen for that day. So you have got to be confident in your expectations that things are going to change. How many of you wake up and say, these kids going to be off the hook today? You have set your expectations that the children will be off the hook today. You've got to set it. If you have confidence in your expectations that things are going to change, you're going to live past crazy in your life and your finances, you will see that it's going to turn around. And it's all you got to stick. That's right, Trenda. You won't see the problem because you will quit. Exactly. Because you're going to get so excited that you got a little leadway, you got a little bit of change, and then you stop because you've seen a little bit of change. You see a little bit of savings and then you stop. And then what? You're right back where you at.
Don't be like the Israelites.
Please.
Don't be out there for 40 years when you didn't have to.
At all. You don't, and that's the thing. You ain't got to be out here in these streets looking crazy, Lynn.
Right.
You do not have to be out here in the streets looking crazy. So let me ask yourself this question. And then when you answer, it's going to tell you about your perspective on your own life. If I say, Trenda, how's your day going? What happened today? You say not too bad. It was crazy. Girl, these people got on my nerves. That becomes your view of your life, how you answer that question. And I've had to watch that because some people say, hey, JoJo, how was your day? Girl, let me tell you. And that became the view of my life. So now when people say, how was your day? Great. Time. Me neither, Trenda. What the Bible say, turn and go north? I'm turning and I'm going north. I'm not going around this mountain another time at all. I don't want to learn this lesson no more. But you got to, and then that's where that confident expectation comes in. I'm confident that my expectation of what I'm doing now is not going to be the same as it is that it was last year and the year before and the year before that. And you guys, you got to know, if we've been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years, that habit is inundated in us. It is so hard in us that so that when we start to change and do something, your mind again wants to keep you safe. So it's going to be like, wait a minute, what you doing? I don't know none of this. I don't like this. This is not comfortable. So you've got to continue to do the expectation. Yes. Charlene, that's what I'll tell everybody I had a great day because I come home and this is how bad it is. Your kids pick up on it. I used to come home from the hospital and my kids look at me in corners like, them people got on your nerves again, didn't they, mama? Yes, Courtney, they did. Oh, they better leave my, and it's sad when your children know that you having a bad day. Or that what's going on at work has affected you that much that you bring it home and they've heard it so much, they can read your habits and they know. So I had to start changing that all around. So now I come there and say, Ma, you had a good day? I was like, yeah, I had a really good day. End the conversation. And they go on because they used to sit down and expect a story of all the crazy shenanigans that went on because I had some stories. So power is in your words. It is in what you say. Yes, Charlene, kids, be on it. That's for sure. Just know if you really want to grow, you're going to have to do the opposite of what you are doing now. You don't have any choice. You've got to do the opposite. So I want you to have a confident expectation today that something different is going to happen. It is happening. It will continue to happen until it is fulfilled at the end of what you see that you want done. Because you got to see it. And then once you see it, your mind will automatically start to give you steps to say, hey, well, you might want to do this. You might want to do this. those next right first steps. Yes, Charlene, kids start to think that and expect it of themselves. Because my 13-year-old will come home with some, and let me tell you, eighth grade is just a, I've never known eighth grade to be so dramatic and so filled with drama. I'm exhausted from the eighth grade. So, you know, and I had to check a kid. It was like, this is why we need new friends right here, because this is way too much. And I would tell a kid in a minute, if you don't pick a new friend, I will pick one for you. And they absolutely hate that. But we are confident in our expectations that friendships are better than this right here. Because this is not it. This is not it. All right, guys, that is it for my fearless thought of the day. I want you to have confident expectations today for what you're going to achieve, the things that you're going to do. So don't stop. Just because you're seeing a little bit of change, you think it's easy to let up on. You can't let up on the gas now, sister. You're going to have to stay steady. Girl, 17-year-old and two 15-year-olds, I'm gonna lost my mind. I got a 20, soon to be 21-year-old and 14-year-old. They're 2 days apart. And let me tell you, I'm struggling with these birthdays this year because the 21-year-old saying, absolutely not. I'm not celebrating my 21st birthday with the 14-year-old. They're 2 days apart. What am I supposed to do?
Right.
It's gonna be all right. Lynn, you want to tell them about March 8th, right, Fast? You want me to do it? I know it's gonna be here.
Sure. It'll be here before you know it, guys. And we will be uploading a link soon to share with you the exact location here in Atlanta. But it's the Million Networking Event. Yes, ma'am. Pedal to the metal. Looking at the Million Networking Event, it's an opportunity for women to come together. As I stated, there will be some millionaires in the room, so you'll be able to get in there and ask them the questions. If you have those, questions you've always wanted to ask someone who's truly a millionaire, and what do those things look like, and what was their journey like, and what are the things that you need to do? Get in a room with women who are on the entrepreneurial journey, the ministry, they have a ministry that they're working on, or whatever the case is for you. It doesn't matter what you're doing in this moment. It's about getting around women who are movers and shakers, right? Whether they're in your industry or not, there's always something that you can glean from them. So on March 8th, which is the International Women's Day, there will be an event here in Atlanta that afternoon where we'll be celebrating each other as women, but there will also be some great information that'll be shared by Miss Danielle Winningham, for those of you who follow her also on these Facebook streets or anywhere else where she is. The Million Networking Event. Also, JoJo and I, of course, will be there, so we'll be looking for you all to join us. Here in the Atlanta area on March 8th. So look out for the link so that you can register. The amount of the event, I think, is $29, so it's not as significant. That's a small price to pay to get into the room with millionaires and rising millionaires and get your questions answered. Connect, make real connections, partner with people who can help you get to your next. That's what it's all about, helping each other out instead of moving forward with that crabs in the bucket mentality. Let's get rid of that and get. That's right.
It's all about helping. It's all about helping your sister because there's plenty for everyone. Only you can do what you're put here on the earth to do. Only you. So we're waiting on you. Remember, somebody's waiting to hear your voice, and they're not going to move until you move. So get in there. I said, it's exciting, and you will be. It's overwhelming with the excitement when you get in the room and people think like you think, or you're just starting out and you don't really know if you're thinking the right things about your goals. Like, are they too big? Are they too there? And you get in that room, and let me tell you, you'll be wanting to high five, do jumping jacks, dance, honey, do the cabbage patch, all of that, because you're excited, because there are people there who understand your level of thinking. And please don't get your feelings hurt when you tell your family and friends your big dreams and goals, and they look at you like you crazy, or they say, yeah. Don't get your feelings hurt, honey, because mine been hurt enough for everybody. Understand That's not the, it may not be the crowd you want to share it with. You need to share it with like-minded people. You know, set yourself up for greatness. Don't set yourself up for failure. And know your family loves you the best way they know how to love you. And that's all
Right.
they got for you. So share that, you know, your big dreams and aspirations with people who will celebrate you and help you and be excited and help you make that come to pass. So
Right.
that's my soapbox for today. Anything else, Lynn?
That's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Please share the video, share, and also don't keep the information to yourself. Help get it out to others. Family and friends will not always share your dreams and goals. Absolutely not. That's why you need to be in the place. Million Networking on March 8th, so you can find you some new friends that are gonna be there with you, ride or die, right?
Girl, you got that right. And it's not, and please don't it's not your family's fault that they don't understand what you're doing or what you're saying. It is not their fault. So don't get angry and mad at them, but just know you got to have a backup plan. That's what Lynn and I are here for, your backup plan. All right, guys, if your family does not have Facebook, I just posted the YouTube link so that you can share the YouTube link with them so they can check out the Fearless Morning Show on YouTube as well. I'm excited about seeing everybody on March 8th. I want everybody to come. $29 is not bad. So I'm excited about all of this. I'm excited that you guys join the Fearless Morning Show, that y'all are here with us every morning, bright and early at 7:15. I hope everybody has a great day. I hope your thankful Thursday. So be thankful for your blessings today. And we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Don't forget to share the video with your friends, your family, your co-worker. Now that you know the information, it is time to share the information. And Trent, I saw soon as we'll be posting the link soon. We should have that in the next day or so we can post it so that you can go ahead and purchase your tickets for that. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you bright and early in the morning. Have a good one.
Signing off.